Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, coming back at you with another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, this is a series of videos that I do where I try out food and drink items, usually new or limited items. Sometimes they're just new to me, sometimes they're foreign items, sometimes, I do like restaurant highlights, things like that. If you've, watched any of my videos, you already know the whole spiel. I yammer on about things, and it's a thing. So, anyway, folks, I'm doing this at night. Usually I do this during the day, but so my lighting's a little bit different. That's just, I don't have the natural light coming from my window right there. But this is some kind of professional operation. Anyway, folks, so yeah, what am I trying out today, folks? We're going to get right into it. Well, folks, you've already seen the title of the thing, but whatever. Boom! Yes, indeed, folks, we are trying out limited time flavor, Smartfood, caramel and cinnamon apple mix popcorn. Caramel popcorn may settle. Shake prior to opening. Yeah, folks, I forget exactly where I found these, but I found them, I think at a gas station or something like that. And I figured, hey man, we'll give it a shot. It's pretty much perfect for this video. It's a limited item, it's a new thing. That's pretty much my jam, I think. So, we'll try some popcorn and stuff. I'm not honestly the hugest popcorn guy in the world. I do enjoy like some cheddar popcorn every now and again. But for me, the fatal flaw of popcorn is just it getting stuck in my teeth and stuff like that. I really hate that. So I don't eat a lot of popcorn. Like even when I go to the movies and stuff, usually I'll just get a drink anyway. But yeah, it's definitely not a go-to thing for me. But like I said, I like the taste of it. It's just all the nonsense that goes into the teeth and it clinging to things and like, ugh, bugs the hell out of me. But yeah, it's got a little thing on the back here. Fair warning, this popcorn may cause feelings of coziness. Which ingredient causes the coziness? That's the one that I want to know. 140 calories per serving, 290 per package. This is not a big package, folks. Pretty much anybody who buys this is most likely going to eat it in one sitting, so you can just say 290 things. Ingredients, butter's right at the top, cream, salt, corn syrup, popcorn. Popcorn is only number 3. Alright. Sugar, brown sugar, vegetable oil, salt, sunflower, lectin, cinnamon apple flavored popcorn. How is that an ingredient? I don't know. And then a bunch of things. It's actually not product of Canada. Good on you, Canada. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Usually when I do these, I like to tell a little story or something to associate myself with the item in question. For popcorn, really the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is being that I live in Illinois, and I guess this is an Illinois thing, although I'm sure they do it other places, but I think that company that actually makes this stuff, I always remember as a kid, like when I lived at my grandparents' house, like me and my dad crashed at my grandparents' house for first few years of my life while my dad was kind of getting things set up. And I remember we would have those big tins of popcorn. They'd be like sectioned off into 3 or 4 sections. I think usually 3. One was like butter, one was like cheddar, and then one would be caramel. And I remember as a kid just loving caramel popcorn, just absolutely adoring it. And it became one of those things, I think as I got older, I just had too much of it as a kid, and so I just wasn't, I don't actively dislike it or anything, but it's like nothing that I would eat just for the shit of it. So, in this case, caramel and cinnamon, apple, yeah, so going to get grandfathered in, I think. Yeah, I mean, so let's give it a shot. Let's check it out. I don't have a lot of life left on my battery. I was out doing stuff all day. I basically am doing this now because I wanted to snack on something, and everything that I have to snack on in my house is something that I intend to do a review on, which means that either I go over there and eat it, and then I don't get to review it, or I do a review, and then I get to eat it afterwards. So it should be an easy choice, you would think. There's so many times when I've just had stuff where I've just been like, I'm just going to eat it or drink it now, and to hell with the review. I have so much stuff anyway, so let's give this a shot. It does smell apple cinnamony. Kind of like Apple Jacks a little bit, I guess. But to be fair, I haven't had Apple Jacks in a really long time, so maybe they don't smell like that. Let's take a look and see the inside. So, oh, shut up, you. I know. Looks like we got a caramel one here, and then yeah, some of them are more caramel than others, so I don't know exactly how that goes. But try one with the less caramel first. See how that tastes. Okay. Yeah, without much of the caramel, you do get the apple flavor, but it's very light. Like the popcorn practically dissolved in my mouth. Like it really just was like done. So, there wasn't a whole lot of sweetness, but there was the apple taste, which was okay. But I think it'll be better, if I get like a more regular assortment of caramel and apple, better ratio. This one's got quite a bit more caramel on it, so let's try this one out. Yeah, that's caramel corn right there. See, that one's straight caramel. I didn't taste any apple, so maybe it really is a thing of like, some are caramel, some are apple. So, yeah, I mean, it tastes like caramel corn, which is what I remember. Though it doesn't taste as heavy as I remember it. Maybe that's because it's like Smartfood, versus whatever the hell I used to get as a kid. I don't know what like I said, I think the company's based out of Chicago, but I could be wrong. So let's just do a little thing, kind of hopefully get a good mix. Okay. It's definitely best when you just kind of go at it. It needs all the components there. The caramel corn's fine by itself, obviously. But, at least for me, with this, you want that balance to kind of work with it. The caramel is definitely the heavier flavor, for sure. The apple does come through, but it's much more subdued than the caramel. So it's definitely a different taste experience than if it were just straight caramel corn. But I also wouldn't say that it's like a hugely, apple or caramel apple experience either. At least not from the mouthful that I got. That I could see being kind of like sort of the flaw with it. Is like I said, it does seem like some pieces are basically the caramel pieces, and some some pieces seem to be more or less the apple pieces. So of course, depending on what you get in a mouthful, you might get one or the other. In that case, And I'm sure there are going to be different weights too, when you got to consider that. You know, the caramel's probably going to be heavier than the non-caramel ones, so those might go forward faster or slower depending. Physics. Sorry, folks, I'm a little bit tired. It's like 2 a.m. right now, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I wish the apple flavor. Ow, bit my tongue. I wish the apple flavor was a bit more prominent, honestly. And there is a cinnamonish flavor to it. But again, it's somewhat subdued. I mean, for what it is, it tastes good. I don't think it hugely lives up to the flavor expectations, at least for me, of what I was kind of hoping. But at the same time, it's not like a drastic dip versus the expectations. Like, it's, still pretty serviceable for what you would expect. And, I mean, like I said, for me, the caramel corn, not wanting to just do straight caramel corn, I think, ever again in my life, that's pretty reasonable. It's pretty rich for, like, with the caramel flavor and everything, even with the rest of it. So, even though there's a relatively small bag, and maybe, that, like, with the servings and everything, I mean, I'm going to snack on it a little bit more after I'm done, but, I mean, you don't get a lot, honestly, but, it's perfectly fine for what it is. I don't think it's anything exceptional, but for a limited time flavor, why not? Would I recommend it? Sure. If you like popcorn, especially if you like, sweet popcorn, like I said, caramel corn or whatever, it's going to fill a similar niche. I personally wouldn't go into it expecting, like, a lot, it's perfectly fine for what it is. But it's nothing more than that. So, it does what it does. But I think for me personally, if I were going to go for, like, another thing of popcorn, like I said, I would go for, like, a cheddar corn or something like that. And actually, Speedway, they have a sweet corn flavor, which is actually really good, too. So, that one, like I said, it's decent enough. Nothing spectacular, but, again, for a limited time flavor, I think it does its job pretty well. So, that's about it for me, folks. I'm going to sign off here, put my phone on its charger, and then probably go hang out with my hamsters for a tiny bit, and then go lay the hell down, because it's about time for this Brandon to get some sleep. So, you can do 5 things for me, folks. If you could go over there and have yourself a great rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, a phenomenal rest of your month, a spectacular rest of your year. If you could go over there and just have an absolutely super duper kick-ass life, that'd be fantastic. 2 more things, just before we're done. 2, I promise. First thing, if you could, try to bring some positivity into the world. Something that, sadly, these days, sometimes it seems like we're lacking in. So if you can, hey, everybody would appreciate it. But if you can't, because sometimes you just don't have it in you, that's perfectly acceptable too. But if you could, try not to be an asshole. I think that's usually doable. But again, we all have our moments. I certainly have them. I think everybody does. So don't beat yourself up too hard. Just don't be try to keep the asshole ratio down low. And then the last thing, folks, you could do the thing for me. Whatever the thing is for you, something positive in your life that's going to, progress you in some way, or, make your life better, or make other people's lives better, that's fantastic. Go out and do that thing. Learn to ollie on a skateboard, or, I don't know, paint a nice sunset, or, build a battle bot. Do that. That would probably be the coolest of those 3 things. But whichever one you choose to do, folks, or whatever you choose to do, just do that thing for me. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me and my sampler platter. I'm going to go ahead and go lay down.